Welcome to Live Interior 3D. Upon launching the app for the first time, we are greeted by the Projects Gallery. To the left, we can choose to open a blank document, browse to open a previous project, or view video tutorials on the app. Next, we see the current project, and basically, this is the project that was opened the last time we quit the app. Tap that to return to that project. To the right are the sample projects, or templates that come with the program. Let's go ahead and open these up to get a feel for the way Live Interior 3D works. Welcome to the main window. At the moment, we see the 2D view, which is where we draft out our floor plan and edit our project in 2D. Let's first take a look at the tools specific to the 2D view. Those are at the top. The first is the Room tool. It lets us draw out rooms much like desktop publishing apps let you draw out text boxes. So you draw a room with 4 walls right away. Next is the Wall tool, which draws individual walls. The 3 tools that follow can all be summed up into one. The Floor and Ceiling tools create custom floors and ceilings. So let's say you have a floor that is half tile and half carpet. You can use the Floor tool to split that floor into 2 sections. The Ceiling Opening tool works in the same way, but actually creates a hole or opening in the ceiling. After that, we've got the Dimension tool that measures the distance between any 2 points on your 2D plan. And then, the Annotation tool, which allows you to add custom notes. Tap the User Camera button to add a camera to your project. You can use cameras to quickly jump from one view to another in 3D. More on that coming up. Lastly, there are the Pan and Zoom tools for easy navigation. So that's basically it for the 2D only toolkit. Let's switch to the 3D view to see what that has to offer. The first thing you'll notice about the 3D view is that there are movement controls, so we can actually walk around our interior in real time. Now at the top, we see 3 new tools have appeared in place of the 2D tools. That's the Walk, Fly Around, and Look Around tools. When we select the Walk tool, we can walk around using the mouse or touch gestures. The Fly Around tool allows us to grab an object and rotate around it to see it from all sides. And the last option here lets us look around the interior while standing in one place. Let's activate the Select tool and check out what we call the Inspector. To the bottom right, there's the Inspector icon. This is where you will make most of the physical changes to your project. The first tab is the Object Properties tab, and this is where we can change the appearance and behavior of objects. Note that there are many different object types, and the options available in this tab depend very much on the type of selected object. Next is the 2D tab. These are options that allow you to change the way objects and annotations are displayed on your floor plan. After that, we've got the Object Materials. When we tap to select an object, all of the materials that are applied to it are listed right here. We can use this tab to change an object's materials with great precision. So what about cameras? You can't have 3D without cameras, right? This is a list of the default cameras as well as the cameras that we create ourselves. Tapping one quickly takes you to that camera, changing your point of view in 3D. Next up is the Lights tab. All of the interior and exterior lighting can be controlled right here. We can easily change the light intensity, turn light sources on or off, and even change the color of the light. Just below, when we tap Environment, a dialog pops up with some options that are related to the external and natural lighting, including the time of day, how cloudy the sky is, and the geographic location and orientation of our home. To the right of that tab is the Building tab where stories and roofs are added and deleted. And lastly, we've got the Project Tree, which can be a really helpful tool. Here you can quickly select, lock, and alter the visibility of objects in your project. That pretty much sums up the Inspector, so let's go ahead and hide it. So we've talked a bit about objects and materials, but we haven't seen how we can add those. In the lower toolbar, when we press Materials, we get our Materials palette. And when we press Objects, we see our Object palette. At the top, We can also switch between those using the button to the right. Now, applying a material is as simple as dragging and dropping it to an object. And similarly, adding an object is also done with a drag and drop. It's that easy. You'll notice that not all objects and materials live in this palette. The entirety of the collection is in the library. Let's tap the Library button to view it. The first screen we see here displays the various categories that are available. And once we tap on one of those, we see the actual objects. We can then drag and drop an object to the palette to be used in the 2D and 3D views. The same can be done with the materials and the material palette. That's the library in a nutshell. Going back down to the toolbar below, the next icon there opens up our 2D or 3D toolkit, depending on which view we have activated. The lighting button toggles lighting on and off. It can be good to turn off lighting when editing to enhance performance in 3D, but always turn it on when sharing views. Moving to the left, we have our undo and redo functions. Next, we have the option of sharing our view using the Windows sharing features, the ability to import images and objects from outside sources, and a shortcut to get back to the gallery where we started. That's it for the main interface. But before we wrap up, let's also take a look at the app settings. To do that, let's swipe from the right and tap Settings. Here we can change the project settings such as the scale and measurement units, toggle the way we both view and work in 2D, and set up the app preferences. Here you can change the 3D render quality, which can help you either get the best picture available or help you maximize performance when editing. Here you can also switch between the two types of 3D movement controls. Either keep the one in the center, which is the best for working with a mouse, or change it to side joysticks, which are better when using a touch tablet. Well, that basically wraps it up for Live Interior 3D. See you next time, and until then, happy creating!